Hey everybody, we were looking at multiplying fractions last class, and two things you need to remember. One, you can cross simplify, and number two, you must make all mixed numbers improper before you start. So let's get started and see how we did on the homework. Okay, question number one, you can't cross simplify the 2 and the 7 or the 3 and the 5. So you go right across. 2 times 3 is 6, 5 times 7 is 35, you get 6/35 for an answer. Okay, number 12, you can cross simplify the 3 and the 9. 3 goes into both 1 and 3 times, and 5 goes into 5 and 5 once. So you wind up getting 1/3 when it's all said and done. Okay, number 13, 6 and 9. 3 goes into both 2 and 3 times. When you go right across, you wind up getting 7 times 2 is 14, and 3 times 13 is 39. So 14/39. Okay, next one. I'm going to make this improper. That becomes, well, 10 times 1 is 10, plus 3 is 13/10. Now I can cross simplify the 5 and the 10 to 1 and 2. So I end up getting 1 times 13 is 13, and 6 times 2 is 12, right? And the opposite is negative. So negative 13/12, or that can become a negative 1 and 1/12. Okay, I'm going to estimate here to make sure that I'm in the right ballpark when I get my answer. This is closer to 5, and this is closer to 5. So 5 times 5 is 25. So I'm assuming my answer is probably going to be around 25. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is, this is 14/3. This guy is going to be 31/6. Got to make him improper, right? And now when we multiply, I'm going to look to cross simplify. 6 becomes a 3, 14 becomes a 7, and 31 times 7, if you had to do that on the side, 31 times 7 is going to be, let's see, is it that right? 31 times 7? Yep, 217, all over 9. Now, we're going to do the work on the side. 9 goes into 217. Well, 9 goes into 21 twice. That gets me to 18 with 3 left over. And 9 goes into 37 4 times with 1 left over. And then I put that 1 over my divisor, 9. So it looks like the answer is 24 and a 9th. And was that close to 25 like we kind of guessed? Yeah. All right. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 5 is 17/6 times 2/5. I'm going to leave the negative out right now, but I'm going to circle it to remind myself that's my answer. The answer has to have a negative in it. Okay, 2 and 6 simplify to 1 and 3. And I get 17 times 1 is 17, and 3 times 5 is 15, and that's going to simplify to 1 and 2/15, and it's negative. Negative 1 and 2/15. All right, what do we do here? Well, we got to make this improper, right? It's very tempting to want to do just 6 times 4. That's not it. So I get 8 times 4 is 32, plus 7 is 39/8 times. And what do we do with the 6? Well, we put it over 1. Now I can cross simplify. This becomes a 3, this becomes a 4. 39 times 3, I'm going to use the distributive property. I'm going to say, well, 40 times 3 is 120, right? Minus the 3 is 117. And this became a 4, right? So 4 times 1 is 4. How many times can 4, I'm going to do it down here, go into 117? Well, 4 goes in 11 twice with 3 left over, and 4 goes into 37 9 times, and I get 1 left over, won't let me do it, with 1/4 left over. So 29 and a fourth, and when I estimated, 6 times 5 is about 30, that's close to 30, right? All right, we got variables in the next 3. It's easy. We can still cross simplify. This becomes a 1 and a 2, and it becomes 3 over 14, and we still have an x left on top, so an x is in our answer. So 3x over 14. Next one, I can cross simplify 1 and 2. The 9 and 12, 3 can go to both, 3 and 4. And I could cross simplify the a's too. But if I didn't see that, I would get 3a over 8a, and then I could see it here and say, oh, the a's cancel, right? So you wind up just getting 3/8. All right, this guy, the 12 and the 16, 4 can go into both. All right, 4 goes into 12 3 times, and 4 goes into 16 4 times. So 9 times 3 is 27. 4 times 17, I might have to do that on the side, right? Because I don't deal with 17s every day. And you get 68, but you put the t on top because that's where it is. So 27t over 68. All right, the final page. You're making cookies for a bake sale. The recipe calls for 2 3/4 cups of flour. How much flour do you need to triple the recipe? So two things you could do here. You could say 2 3/4 plus 2 3/4 plus 2 3/4 three times, and that would be 2, 4, 6. That would be 3, 6, 9. That would be 6 9/4. And when you regroup that, that would be 7 and 5, or 7 and, let's see, oh, that would be more than 7, right? 4 goes in 9 twice. So that would be 8 1/4. Now, how do you do it with multiplication? 2 3/4 times 3, right? So we got to make that improper. That would be 8, 9, 10. That would become 11/4 times 3 over 1, okay? So we're looking at this, 33 over 4. And 33 over 4, how many times does 4 go into 33? 8 times, with a 4th left over, the same thing we got over here. All right, and the final one, if it takes you an hour to read 1 3/8 chapters of the novel, how many will you finish in 3 hours? Well, this is the same thing. You could say 1 3/8 plus 1 3/8 plus 1 3/8, which will give you 3 9/8, which simplifies to 4 1/8. Okay? Now, if we did it with multiplication, we would get 1 3/8 times 3. And remember, we'd put 3 over 1. Got to make these improper. I get 11/8 times 3 over 1, which is 33/8, which again is just 4 1/8. Same thing we got up here. So whether you use addition or multiplication, you get the same thing. Okay, guys, hopefully we did well with the multiplication and on with division today. So get ready.